and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is my February TBR. This TBR is going to be broken up into two sections. The first part of this video is just going to be my Naruto TBR game and which cards I pick and which books I pick for those cards. And then the second part of this video is actually going to be my TBR for Woody's Roundup Readathon, which is hosted by Lily from Literally Lily. I'll put her YouTube channel and the Twitter down below in the description box so you can check those out. For my Naruto TBR game for tuning exams round 1, I picked 4 cards and my TBR was these 4 books. Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu, The Bride Test by Helen Huang, The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. And I can tell you I successfully read all 4 of these books. All 4. When have I ever finished a TBR? I don't know. But that means I know what button I need to push to go on with my Naruto Adventure TBR game, and so let's go right over there. We are going to go back to the 5th slide, which is the tuning exams round 1, which included the month's TBR. The buttons for pass or fail. Since I passed, because I read all 4 of my books from my January Naruto TBR game, I'm going to go over and hit pass. That takes me to the rewards page. Thank goodness I'm not getting punished. Maybe next month. But you passed the tuning exams round 1. Abiki is sending you on to round 2 with a reward for your hard work and wit. Find your player and carry on your reward over to the next exam. I picked Naruto, so I can double up on 2 prompts. And all this basically means is I pick my cards and I can read 1 book for 2 prompts as long as they fit. Next up, tuning exams round 2, administered by Anko Mitarashi. Click Anko to continue, so I'm just going to click Anko, which takes me to tuning exams round 2, Forest of Death. Teams start with either the Heaven Scroll or the Earth Scroll. They'll must acquire the other before the end of the month. Choose below. Remember the reward or punishment from the previous month. I'm going to start with the Earth Scroll, so I'm going to click the Earth Scroll, and it's going to take me to the Earth Scroll page. You started with the Earth Scroll. You have the month to reach the building at the center of the forest with 1 of each scroll in your possession. You start off by picking 2 cards. Other teams are after your Earth Scroll, so you have to fight to keep a hold of it. Chance, redraw 1 card if you'd like, but you have to stick with whatever card you draw. Okay, so I suppose I'm gonna pick my 2 cards right away, and it looks like I made this slide so long ago I forgot I had a chance, so cool beans. Let's see what cards I get first. I'm going to break the deck randomly right here. Okay, Kabuto, which is read an arc. Okay, not sure if I want to do that yet, but let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Going to break the deck. Oh, reanimated Asuma Sarutobi, which is restart a series. I need to do that. Okay. So I want to restart a series, and I already know the book, and I need to read it this month. Or I don't need to. I want to. Read an arc. I should read an arc. Do I want to? And what if I get something icky? Shoot. I hate this chance. I'm not enjoying this. I'm gonna put it away. I'm doing a readathon this month, so I already know kind of what books I want to pick. And I need my Naruto books to like fit in with those. Can't believe I'm chancing this. Okay. Okay, Choji. Read a seasonal read. Ugh. Okay. I chanced it. I'm not a seasonal reader. It's fine. So let's go back to our PowerPoint. I have my laptop right here. Look at the little Naruto stickers. Yeah, I know. Look at little Kurama. So I did the chance. And then up next, you must acquire the Heaven Scroll this month as part of the tuning exams round 2. Click the tree to continue. Get the Heaven Scroll. The real work begins. You must fight another team to get the Heaven Scroll. Follow the prompts below for the character you are traveling as. I am Naruto. I have to pick 3 cards. Okay. After awakening the Nine Tails chakra during his fight with Orochimaru, Naruto is rendered unconscious when the seal on his stomach becomes disrupted. Okay, we're picking 3 cards. Here we go. Let me put that down. 3 cards. I knew I was playing Naruto. Like, why did I do this to myself? Okay, 3 cards. Oh, Chozu Akamichi, which is Shoji's father. Okay. Read a book with a butterfly on the cover or with transformation. Okay. 2 more. Okay, Maruda, which is read a book you've been putting off. Okay, book I've been putting off. Ooh. Here we go. Ooh, Shikaku Nara. I love Shikaku. Okay, read a book that has been made into a movie. Okay, here we are. So those are my cards, and I can combine two. Okay, so I picked my books. So for Choza Akamichi, it's read a book with a butterfly on the cover or with transformation. For this one, I am doing A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, and it's mainly because it looks like Prince Ren of Emberfall thought he could be saved easily if a girl fell for him. He's stuck in a curse that's repeating his 18th year over and over again. That would suck. But that was before he turned into a vicious beast and destroyed his castle, his family, and every shred of hope. Harper has cerebral palsy and her father is gone. Her mother is dying and her brother is constantly underestimating her because of it. It looks like she tries to save a stranger and then is pulled into a magical world with this transforming man, beast guy. Anyways, I heard I would love this book. I do see pretty mixed reviews on it, but my resources tell me that this should be a book that I will enjoy. Hopefully. Maybe. I hope so. Anyways, here it is. The next one is Choji Akamichi, and this is to read a seasonal read, and I am going with Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh, and this one is about the Kingdom of Winter. It's currently winter. Seasonal read, where the citizens are enslaved, and the world is without magic or a monarch. Now the Winterians, wow, hate that. Only hope for freedom is the 8 survivors who managed to escape and who have been searching for the chance to steal back winter's magic and rebuild the kingdom ever since. It looks like there's an orphan girl. Orphan girl saves the kingdom. Love that trope. Next is Reanimated Asuma Saratobi, and for this one is to restart a series. I am restarting the Fae Game series by Karen Lynch, and I am going to be rereading Pawn because I recently got book 2, which I pre-ordered for my Kindle like months ago, and I was going to save the book for when I was in Japan or like my flight over to Japan, but like I have over 100 books on my Kindle, like I'm not going to be running out, and it's one of my most anticipated reads of this entire year, and I really just want to get to it. But it basically follows Jesse James, whose parents are bounty hunters for the human world, which is now being integrated with the magical fae and creatures, and so they are basically bounty hunters who uphold the laws and rules for the fae if they want to stay in the human world. They go missing and she has to find them and like figure out what's going on. There is actually a pretty intense like love / hate to love interest, and I really liked book 1, and it left off on a huge cliffhanger, and so I really just want to get to it. I want to get to it so bad. I was just holding up this card for that entire time, but I need to put the book here. Okay, anyways. And because my reward for finishing my January TBR and its completion was to combine 2 prompts, so 1 book, 2 prompts, I am combining these 2 prompts, which is Shikaku Nara and Maruda. And so that is to read a book that has been made into a movie and to read a book you've been putting off. So for these 2 cards, I am going to finally be reading The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I'm not going to say much about The Hunger Games because I feel like everyone knows what The Hunger Games is. Kids are sent into an arena to fight to their death for rich people's enjoyment. But I just recently rewatched all of the movies, and I feel like I'm motivated to finally pick up this series, this book. So here we are. Here it is. I've never read The Hunger Games. I've only ever watched the movies, and it's been a pretty long time since I have read a dystopian type novel, and I'm just kind of excited to get to it. I have this special edition. It's like white with the gold foiling. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't find the other ones anywhere. So if you know where these other special editions, like the spine is silver, link them, message me. I need to know. I would really like to have all the special editions in this special edition because there's so many special editions out there in matching set, but yeah. So my Naruto TBR is these 4 books. So The Hunger Games, Snow Like Ashes, and A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and then Pawn. So those 4 books are the 4 books I have to finish for my Naruto TBR game for when I go back to, oh gosh, what slide am I on? When I go back to slide 12 for my March TBR, I need those 4 books to be finished in their completion for me to be able to hit the pass button. So I need to pass. I need to pass. Okay, anyways, here we are. Those 4 books. And now for the second part of this TBR video is my Woody's Roundup Readathon TBR. There are teams, but they're not like point teams. It's just basically you pick a team and then you do those prompts. The main character is Bo Peep, which is to read a book with disabled main character. And for that one, I am going with A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer because the main character does have cerebral palsy. First book. For Gabby Gabby, I'm going with Pawn by Karen Lynch because Karen Lynch is a very underhyped author. I love her Relentless trilogy. I say it almost every video. I love that trilogy so much. It's like my definition of a perfect YA fantasy trilogy. I love it so much. And so far, Pawn is not disappointing, even though I've only read the first book. Like I said, I'm going to be rereading it, but Karen Lynch is very underhyped and I want the world to know that she exists. So yeah. Pawn for Gabby Gabby. The Dummies is to read a book that someone else told you to read. And for this one, I am going with A Reaper at the Gate by Sabaa Tahir. This is the 3rd book in the Quartet of the Ember and the Ashes series. And this is the next one I need to read. Alana from the Awkward Book Nerd told me, told Twitter, told the world to read the Ember and the Ashes series. And so here I am. I'm buddy reading this series with Noria from the Chronicles of Noria. I have read book 2 and Noria has not, so we're a little behind on this buddy read thing going on. But I do want to read A Reaper at the Gates because I'm really enjoying this series. And book 2's end had me absolutely mind blown. So I need to continue this and I am just super excited. This book follows Laya, who in book 1 infiltrates a rebellion and then infiltrates the kingdom to get back her brother who was kidnapped. He was not a kid, man-napped. He was man-napped and yeah, she needs him back. It's her brother. So a lot of things happen. It's basically one of those where the kingdom of this world is suppressing their citizens and killing whoever they want and so on and so forth. It's really intense and I'm really loving it. So here we are. Next is Duke Kaboom, read an overhyped book. And for this one, I'm going with Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. And this is book 2 to the Red Queen series. I feel like the Red Queen series has been extremely overhyped. Luckily, when I read Red Queen last month, I absolutely loved it. And so I'm just gonna go on with this hyped series and I'm hoping I love book 2 as much as I love book 1. I know there's very mixed reviews on Red Queen, but it is such a Sarah book. Like it's such a me book that I loved it so much. I don't usually like second books in series very much. I feel like they all have like the same layout and structure and I'm not always there for it, but I feel like this book could do a few things differently, but it is a little bit older, so it might just follow that same structure as most YA fantasies do, and I'll just have to like get over it. But I'm really excited, and yes, overhyped book. And then I need to read 2 more books to steal characters. The first one is Woody, so I need to steal Woody. My team is the Antique Shop, and that is to read a book with a historical setting. And I picked 2 books because I want to mood read this prompt, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to want to read at the time. So I'm going to read one of these 2 books. I'm just not sure which yet. The first one is Wendy by Erin Michelle Skye. Oh, my gift note from Noria, and Stephen Brown. And this is, as you would guess, a Peter Pan retelling. It's about Wendy who, let's see, Wendy Darling is an orphan living in an overcrowded almshouse, ridiculed for believing in a future she can never have. Girls can't be in the Navy. More than anything in the world, she wants to be the captain of a ship, but that's impossible, is it not? At age 16, she's old enough to be sold into service as a dressmaker or a servant, and when she learns the house office is accepting a handful of women into its ranks, she jumps at the chance, joining the fight against the most formidable threat England has ever faced: magic. It looks like choosing sides isn't as simple as she thought, and the only man who isn't blinded by her gender might be her nation's greatest enemy. So yes, I hope it's this cute guy down here. Just saying. This one isn't as cute, but he has a gun. Guns are cool. On page gun gunning on page gun down on I give up. Anyways, thank you Noria for gifting me this last year for my birthday. Love you. The other one I may read, hence mood read, hence I don't know which one I'm actually reading, is Kim Ji-young, born 1982, a novel by Cho Nam-ju. So this one is basically a feminist movement novel. And it follows a young woman who got the most popular name in Korea in 1982, and so she feels like she's losing her identity basically, and she's living in a world or a time where it's just very misogynistic. And I know that it deals a lot with oppression of females. It looks like she starts exhibiting strange symptoms that alarm her husband, parents, and in-laws. She impersonates the voices of other women, alive and even dead, both known and unknown to her. As she plunges deeper into the psychosis, her discomfited husband sends her to a male psychiatrist. It's third-person voice. Her entire life is recounted to the psychiatrist. The narrative is infused with disparated elements of frustration, perseverance, and submission. Born in 1982 and given the most common name for Korean baby girls, Ji-young quickly becomes the unfavored sister to her princeling little brother. And yeah, it basically just follows her life. I know it is fiction and nonfiction because like the stories themselves and things that happen to Korean women during this time is real, but the story itself is not. So it's kind of both. And I'm thinking I'm really gonna enjoy this, though I'm thinking it's also gonna make me really mad because misogyny at its worst. And then the very last prompt is Forky, which is to read trash. And so for this one, I am going with a book that I think I'll like, but I also hear it's not great. So here we are. But that is Paper Princess by Erin Watt. It is a #1 New York Times bestseller, but I hear that it's just not great. And so that is why I'm putting it in with Forky, which is to read some trash. Depending on the trash, I may like it. I may like this trash, which I don't know because I haven't read it. But it follows Ella, who is a survivor, a pragmatic optimist. She spent her whole life moving from town to town with her flighty mother, struggling to make ends meet and believing that someday she'll climb out of the gutter. After her mother's death, Ella is truly alone until Callum Royal appears, plucking Ella out of poverty and tossing her into his posh mansion along his 5 sons who all hate her. Each Royal boy is more magnetic, but none as captivating as Reed Royal, the boy who is determined to send her back to the slums she came from. Reed doesn't want her. He says she doesn't belong with the Royals. He might be right. So here we are, an orphan girl living with royals. I already said it's one of my favorite tropes, so here it is. I'm not expecting much, so it might surprise me in a good way, but here we are. So here are the books plus Pawn that I need to finish for my Naruto TBR, which is my priority. But then I need to read The Glass Sword, Wendy or Kim Ji-young, born 1982, The Reaper at the Gates, and Paper Princess. So this is my TBR for February. I may be overdoing it a little bit, but we'll have to see. Like I said, I only have to read technically the first 4 books, which is my Naruto TBR, because I don't want a punishment for March. And my Naruto TBR will always be my prioritized TBR. But these other books I really want to get to. So far in January, I have already read 7 books and there's still like 10 days left. I am filming this so early because I'm like completely done with my TBR and now I'm mood reading for like funsies. Like, who am I? So I may be able to do it. Anyways, here we are. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all next time. And let me know if you're participating either in my Naruto TBR adventure game or in the Woody's Roundup Readathon. And yeah, let's talk. Okay, bye!